Hi, my name is Wyatt Garnett, and I am from DRC. And today we will be walking through the 2023 NSCAS alternate test admin training. All attendees should have been muted upon entry. And if you have any questions throughout, feel free to use the chat function. We have Chaz on the line from DRC who will help answer any questions. Also Sharon from NDE. And we will also stop periodically to answer any questions. And also there will be a Q&A time at the end as well, if anything should come up during the training. This training will be recorded, as you heard, and it will be posted to the DRC Insight portal. The PowerPoint has already been posted to the DRC Insight portal. All right, the 2023 NSCAS alternate key dates. Student pre-ID information was provided to DRC and loaded on January 20th. The training was Tuesday and today, Thursday, March 2nd. Student test management opened on the 20th of February and runs through the end of the testing window, May 12th. Student test booklets and test administration manuals are available for printing in the DRC Insight portal on March 13th. The NSCAS alternate testing window is April 3rd through May 12th. And the last day to enter any student responses, demographics, accommodations, and testing codes into the DRC Insight portal is May 12th. Eligible grades for the NSCAS alternate testing include grades 3 through 8 in high school, English, language arts, and mathematics. And for science, grades 5, 8, and high school. Students are required to take all subjects of either the NSCAS general or NSCAS alternate tests for their eligible grades. Students may take the NSCAS alternate for some subjects and the general for other subjects. Online administration. Alternate assessment is available for online administration via the DRC Insight test engine. Note, please see the DRC Insight portal guide for information on the test login process. And the DRC portal guide is also posted on the DRC Insight portal. And I will show you that location later on in this training. Students capable of using touch-enabled devices or other computer-based input devices are able to respond to items themselves. If a student cannot select responses in the DRC Insight test engine, proctors will capture the student's responses and enter them into the system to be scored. On-demand student test booklets are available for printing. Districts do not receive or return test materials. Note, test administrators or proctors are not required to navigate through every item on the test if a student who is being administered the test does not or ceases to respond to items. Tests may be ended on the last item administered. And then there's a proctor video providing detailed direction on administering the NSCAS alternate tests online, and it's posted to the NDE assessment webpage. And this link, if you have this PowerPoint, that link will take you there as well. Special note for external programs, students attending an external program, Rule 18, ESU school or program, an approved contracted agency are required to participate in NSCAS testing. Districts need to reach out to the school program and make testing arrangements with the external program. Discuss your options and decide what arrangement is best for the student. And if staff at the external program needs access to the DRC Insight test engine, please contact DRC's customer service team or Maggie at NDE. DTCs for all external programs should reach out to NDE and Maggie again and provides the site information so that the site is available on the DRC Insight portal. External programs or sites will provide student information to NDE, and DRC will upload the students to each site. Once testing has completed, NDE will send a file of the reported sites where the students are to be reported. DRC will move the students to their reported sites. If external programs receive new students throughout the testing window, they will need to reach out to NDE to make sure that the student has been added to the DRC Insight portal. So just like any other site, these external programs, if you receive a student throughout the testing window, you need to make sure that that student is tested. Scheduling the test, there's flexibility throughout the testing window, and makeups are required. Previously, we did have a makeup window, which I believe was the last week of testing. This year, it's kind of changed. Basically, you're testing students throughout, so there's not a makeup time. So anytime, if your site is already done, but you were to receive a new student, you would need to make that student up before the testing window ends. Recommends scheduling early in the testing window, just so you leave yourself a little bit of time. Should you have new students or should anything pop up with specific students, so you have time to get them their makeups completed. And then to allow flexibility in scheduling tests across multiple test sessions and days, the tickets for the NSCAS alternate do not expire. So once you print those tickets and say that student has already started, they can complete it at any time throughout the testing window. And be certain proctors understand the key dates and the district's testing schedule. Test security. Tests are to be administered on a one-to-one basis. Test content is to be viewed only by the individuals directly responsible for the test administration. Test administrators and proctors should study the NSCAS alternate administration manual and become familiar with the test format prior to the test administration. Do not discuss, disseminate, or otherwise reveal the contents of the test to anyone. Do not keep, copy, reproduce, or use any of test content. And all printed materials, the administration manuals, student test booklets, or online test tickets must be destroyed locally by the end of the testing window. All digital copies of files must be deleted or removed by the end of the testing window. Students must not be left alone with the test materials, and students cannot take test materials out of the testing site. Do not coach or provide feedback, including prompting or answering questions related to the test, and do not alter, influence, or interfere with the test response in any way. Refer to the NSCAS alternate administration manual for complete test security procedures. Student information. Students identified an advisor as taking the alternate assessment are pre-assigned to online test sessions. Students who weren't pre-identified must be added to the DRC Insight student management application and test sessions. And student details are pre-coded for pre-identified students, but must be entered for new students. Accommodations and testing codes must be entered into the DRC Insight portal student management application when applicable. Enter or edit student information in the DRC Insight portal by the last day of the NSCAS alternate testing window. And again, that is May 12th. And these steps are to help walk you through the process of entering or edit the student detail. And later on in this training, we will go on to the DRC Insight portal and walk through these. Step number one to enter the student detail is to expand My Applications in the dropdown at the top of the screen. 2, select Student Management. Number 3, Manage Students. And 4, use the Filters and Manage Students tab to find student or students whose information you want to edit or enter, and select the Find Students button. View student detail for individual students. In the Manage Students search results, select the View Edit button in the action column. And again, we will go through this. It's the last column once you find or search for those students. Number 2, when the Edit Student window opens, select the Student Detail tab. 3, edit student's name and date of birth in the fields provided. Use the drop downs to edit other details. And when we take a look at this, you'll see that some of the information is grayed out, and you will not be able to edit any information that is grayed out. Number 4, you will select the Save button once you have updated any information, and then return to the original search results. Update information in Advisor. NDE will verify student information before reporting. Accommodations. Accommodations for students with IEP or 504 plans and English language learners must be reported in the DRC Insight portal student management application, and refer to the NSCAS accessibility manual on the NDE website for information on how to select, administer, and evaluate use of accessibility supports for instruction and assessment. And again, here's the link below. No accommodated versions of the NSCAS alternate assessment are provided. Districts may provide tests in large or another format that supports the student's primary mode of communication. Districts must securely destroy any tests provided in these formats. And NDE does not provide manipulatives, objects for the student's NSCAS alternate tests, but they are allowed if their use is a normal part of the student's instruction and in the student's IEP. Report the following accommodations in the DRC Insight portal: student management application when applicable, paper pencil, mathematical supports, assistive technology, and specialized presentation of the test. And again, here are the steps to update the accommodations, which we will walk through shortly. Step 1, go to My Applications dropdown at the top of the screen. 2, you will select Student Management. Number 3, select the Manage Students tab. And then 4, use the filters on the Manage Students tab to find student or students whose accommodations you want to edit, and select the Find Students button. And there are 2 options for updating student accommodations. Option 1, enter /edit for individual students. So this is if you're just planning to update one student. Step 1, you're going to click on the View Edit under Manage Students. Number 2, when the Edit Student window opens, select the Accommodations tab. 3, you're going to select the checkbox next to the applicable accommodation. Note that you must report the accommodation for each subject tested, and you'll see that when we go through the demo, as accommodations may vary by subject. And then step 4, you'll save and then return to original search results. And then option 2 to assign accommodations is assign it to multiple students. And in your search results, check the boxes to the left of the student or students' names for all the students whose accommodations you want to update. Step 2, you'll select the Update Accommodations button. Step 3, you'll select the checkbox next to each applicable accommodation shown in the Update Accommodations for Multiple Students window. And then number 4, you will save. Enter or edit accommodations again by the last day of the NSCAS testing window, May 12th. Testing codes. Testing codes indicate reasons students weren't tested or specific conditions that apply to some students who were tested. Testing codes affect how student results are reported in the statewide accountability system. Testing codes are not pre-coded. Sorry. Every student in the DRC Insight Portal student management application must have completed a completed test or testing codes indicated by May 12th. So if a student's in there and they did not complete their test, you will need to assign them a testing code so that we know the reason that that student did not complete the test. Reasons a student was not tested: emergency medical waiver, parent refusal, student refusal, unable to test, exempt, full-time equivalency, invalid, not currently enrolled, other, remove, student not responsive, and general. Tests may be ended. We also stated this earlier. Tests may be ended on the last item administered. Test administrators, proctors are not required to navigate through every item on the test if a student is administered the test but does not or ceases to respond to items. So again, that is, if that does end up happening, we want to include one of these testing codes. To apply the testing codes, step number 1, you're going to expand My Applications dropdown at the top of the screen. 2, you're going to select Student Management again. Step 3, you're going to select the Manage Student tab. And step 4, you're going to use the filters on the Manage Student tab to find the student or students whose testing codes you want to enter and select the Find Students button. In Manage Students, you will search results, select the View Edit. Again, it's underneath the action column, and we'll walk through this shortly. When the Edit Student window opens, select Testing Codes tab. Choose all applicable testing codes using the checkboxes and drop-downs that appear. And then select the Save button to return to your original screen. I'm going to pause right there before we walk through these steps on updating student information. Do we have any questions that need to be answered before we get to the demo?
Nope, we are good.
All right. So bear with me for a second while I switch screens. All right, are we seeing the DRC Insight portal page?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, once we log in to the DRC Insight portal page, and everybody, all the DTCs should have access to.
Oh, Wyatt.
Yep.
Sorry, we're just seeing the screenshot within the PowerPoint, actually.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Are you seeing it now?
Yep, we can see now.
All
Yes.
right, sorry. Yeah, so all DTCs should have access to the DRC Insight portal. If you don't have access, please reach out to our customer service team and we will make sure that you have access. Once you've logged in, you'll see your initials in the upper right-hand corner. You guys will have different permission sets than I do, so you're going to see a lot less likely, but you'll have student management, teacher management, user management. So editing the student, we're going to go to student management and then click on manage student. And again, these steps are in this PowerPoint, so it'll help walk you through the process. And then you're going to make sure that you click on the correct administration, your district. And if you want to search for all the schools, all the students within your district, you can just leave the school at all. I am going to select this school to find my students. And the first thing we're going to look at is just the view edit students. And it's going to be under the action column on the far right. It's going to look like a paper pencil right below it. If you hover over, it'll say view edit. You'll click on that student information. And once you open that student, you'll see the information that we can update and the information that's grayed out that we cannot update. So I cannot update the grade, I cannot update the district and school or the administration. But if I wanted to change first name, last name, date of birth, gender, race, or ethnicity, I can update that information in the student detail. Then I move over to accommodations. For this student, they have accommodation paper pencil for ELA, mathematical supports for math, and the assistive technology for math as well. If I needed to add additional supports, I would simply check the box and click save. Once you save the information for the students, you should see a green bar at the top of your screen that tells you it was successfully updated. Demographics is not applicable. Here's where we move to the testing codes. And the testing codes you're likely not going to be doing before the testing window starts. So these are typically done or completed towards the end of the testing window. So in the dropdown, you'll see the reasons, the testing codes in there. You'll need to select that for each content area for the student if they were not able to complete that test. And again, once I click save, that student information, the existing student was updated successfully. I'm going to go back in here to show you that the test sessions are also available under that student detail. So basically everything to update a student will be underneath the view edit under action once you have populated your students. Now, if I want to update accommodations for a group of students, I could check the box for all of my students and click update accommodations. Or if I know that there are only a couple that I want to update, I check the box next to that student and select Update Accommodations. You can assign them and you can remove them. For this example, I'm going to assign them, and that is for these two students. And then click Save. One thing that I do want to point out as far as for the testing codes, the testing codes cannot be updated as a group. The testing codes need to be completed individually. So if I need to update a testing code or testing codes for a few students and they have the same testing codes, I still have to go into the View Edit and make sure that I update that testing code for that student individually. Do we have any questions on student management?
There are none in the chat.
Okay. One thing I'm going to go over to the location for the documents, so people are familiar with that. Underneath, you'll see in the drop-down will be general information. And under general information, you'll click on documents. And I would leave the document type for all, and then just click show documents. These are the current documents that are in or available for folks. We have the user guide, which will help walk you through any questions on the DRC Insight portal. We have the TUG, which will help you with the setup for the DRC Insight test engine, and also this PowerPoint for the training is also available. You'll also find once this training has completed, we'll also put the training video on here as well. Sharon, do you want to just also kind of discuss what
Yeah.
is on your site versus what's on here?
Yeah. So this PowerPoint will also be posted on the NDE website, so you would not have to worry about getting into the portal to view it. It has been sent to the people who approve that to put it on it, so hopefully it'll be there by tomorrow, if not no later than Friday. All of the other alternate assessment documents that are there, like the OTTs and the practice tests and the item samplers, those have all been updated, and I have sent those on to people to approve for them to put on our website. So hopefully the updated forms will be there tomorrow, but if not, they will definitely be there by Monday. If there's a change in that, the assessment office will send out an email to all UDACs to let you know there was a delay in getting those posted to our website. If you have any questions when you look at those, please feel free to reach out to myself, since I am the one that gets to do the wonderful job of making sure it gets all put on the NDE website after DRC submits it to me.
Thank you, Sharon. Sharon or Chaz, are there any additional questions in the chat before we move forward on student management?
Just one question about whether or not students should be populated, and I responded yes.
Okay. All right, I will move forward then. All right, going back to the PowerPoint. Test materials for proctoring the NSCAS alternate. The NSCAS alternate administration manuals. Online test tickets printed from the DRC Insight portal, test management application. Student test booklets for student requiring paper pencil administration. Oops. Sorry about that. Administration manuals and student test booklets are form specific. So each district, when the student information was loaded into the system, each district was assigned Form A or Form B. So if you do end up printing out these test booklets and manuals, just make sure that it matches the information that is indicated on the student's test ticket, the online test ticket, so that you have, if it's Form A, you have Form A. And then the general info for the to print the student test booklets, that'll be under general information documents. You'll expand the My Applications dropdown, select general information, and then step 3, the Documents tab. Step 4, you leave the filter to all, as I stated earlier. And these are not posted yet. These will be posted March 13th. So you will not find these at this time. Again, step 4, the document type, leave the filter to all to show the documents. And then step 5, use the Open PDF or Save PDF button in the action column next to the document you want to print. Then print the documents needed for test administration. Test materials for proctoring. All NSCAS alternate administration manuals and student test booklets contain secure test content and must not be downloaded electronically or stored locally. Printed NSCAS alternate administration manuals, student test booklets, and online test tickets must be stored securely until testing is finished. And do not send any materials back to DRC. Districts are responsible for secure destruction of the printed materials. DRC Insight Portal Test Management Application. The DRC Insight Portal Test Management Application is the point of access for these online test administration activities. Printing online test tickets, adding new students to test sessions, and monitoring testing status. The DRC Insight Test Engine is where the students log in using the test tickets. So just wanted to point that out. You'll do any updating of student information, printing test tickets, adding students to test sessions, or even searching for documents. That's all going to be done on the DRC Insight portal. The DRC Insight Test Engine is where the student will be testing. To print the online test tickets for a test session, step 1, you're going to go to My Applications. 2, select Test Management under Test Preparation. Step 3, Manage Test Sessions. Step 4, select the district and school, and then select Show Sessions. Step 5, use the Print All Tickets button in the action column to print the student test roster and tickets for all students assigned to that test session. And it is best practice to add new students to test sessions before printing the online test tickets so you have them all together. To add new students to an existing test session, expand My Applications in the drop-down screen. Select the Test Management application under Test Preparation. Number 3, select Manage Test Sessions. Step 4, select your district and school that you'd like to add the student to, and then select the Show Session. Step 5, select the View Edit button in the action column to open the Edit Test Session window. And then 6, you're going to select the New Student button. 7, complete the required student detail information, if applicable. In accommodations, then select the Save button and add the student directly to the session. To add students when a test session has not been created for a student's grade. For this, you'll expand the My Applications dropdown, select the Student Management application under Participant Preparation. Number 3, select manage students. Number 4, select upload multiple students tab. And number 5, select the district and school required for the students that you'd like to add. 6, produce a file containing required student information according to the file layout and sample file. And number 7, browse to find the file. So if you have it saved on your desktop, you're going to search your desktop and find that file, then select upload button to load that file. The system will verify the student information meets the requirements outlined in the file layout. And then you can check back in a few minutes to see if the file was accepted or generated an error report. If an error report was generated, correct the errors shown in the report and repeat the upload process until the file is free of errors. Students added using this process will be added directly to test sessions for the form assigned to that district. Student detail, accommodations, and testing codes can then be edited. This is the recommended process for adding students when a new test session is needed. And districts can also add students and test sessions manually following the process detailed in the DRC Insight Portal User Guide. And to monitor testing status, you'll expand My Applications dropdown. And 2, you'll select Test Management application under Test Preparation. Step 3, you'll select Manage Students or Manage Test Sessions tab. Step 4, you'll select the district and school, which you wish to check the status, and select Show Sessions. And step 5, you use the Edit Print Ticket Status button in the action column to view the testing status in the window. And these are the statuses that the students would be assigned if you were to search for that. Number 1, it's not started. Number 2, in progress. And 3, completed. NSCAS alternate test tickets do not lock after periods of inactivity or overnight to facilitate flexible scheduling. So if you have tests in a completed status are locked, contact the DRC customer service team and we can get those unlocked for you. Again, they shouldn't lock at any time throughout the testing window unless they were completed, they'll say completed. But if we do run into situations once in a while where the test administrator or proctor believes that the student did not complete it, and so we can go back and unlock that test ticket. During the testing window, View Online Results provides preliminary raw scores for operational items for testing completed status. And in August, districts will be provided access to preliminary reports and data file in the DRC Insight Portal report delivery application. Also in August, districts provided access to final reports and data file in the DRC Insight Portal report delivery application. And we're working out these dates right now. So we should know more in the next week or so on those TBD dates in August. Results are not released to districts until public release of reports. NDE will provide information on the public release of the 2023 NSCAS results as it becomes available. Do we have any questions in the chat currently?
Because I need to take myself off mute. Are only certain devices allowed for alternate testing?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Sharon? I heard
Yeah.
devices.
Are only certain devices allowed for alternate testing?
We do have, I'm not sure, Sharon, if you have posted the updated information on device information that I sent to you the other day.
Yeah, all
But-
of those technology things you sent me are up and ready to go.
Okay, so as Sharon stated earlier, regarding documents that are on the NDE website, this will also provide information on what devices can be used. You can use pretty much everything. It depends on the operating system for most of them. So you'll need to check that out on their website. Chaz, can you remind me the name of that document? It's slipping my mind.
Yeah, it's the system requirements.
System requirements, correct. Thank
Yep.
you very much.
That is the only question I see, Wyatt.
Okay.
I see one more. It was just asking if our devices are, I think our devices are fine, but do they have to be registered in order to be used? Yes, you would need to have the software downloaded on those devices that the students are going to be using for testing.
Thank you, Chaz.
You're welcome.
So this does end our training. We'll be here for the next, if we're getting quite a few questions, we'll be here for the next five to 10-ish minutes. If you have on the screen currently, you'll see the DRC customer service information. So feel free to reach out at any time. Something may pop up later today, in a month or so. Feel free to reach out if you have questions, whether it be technology, adding students, and we'll answer those questions. And here are hours as well as when we are available. Thank you for joining us today.
Julia had a question. Is the DAC the only one that can print test tickets? No, a school user with a school user role has the test ticket view print permission assigned to them by default with the permission sets. So a school user could also print off test tickets.
Thanks, Chaz.
Sharon, this is Lana. Would it be possible if sometime like you and I connected due to the new situation that's in the ESU 11 area?
I think we can probably do that, lady.
Okay. Because this is all kind of new to me and I want to make sure that we're doing it right.
Yeah, definitely. We can do that.
Thank you.
You want to send me some times and
Yep.
then I can let you know what works for me?
I will do that. Thank you.
Sure, you know that.
Well, I know folks have busy schedules, so feel free to drop if you don't have any additional questions, and reach out to customer service via email or phone if you have questions going forward. I think at this point, Sharon, unless we want to wait a few more minutes, I think
No,
we can
I
go.
think we're good, Wyatt.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a great day.